Hello, Opromnia. Bishop here, doing the Boss Rush Abandoned Laboratory Very Hard Plus, no greens. This is quite intriguing, I gotta say, with this. So I got Garland, Beatrix, and Auron. Auron for the synergy, and I'm doing a lot of off-turn damage here. So I decided to see if I can get away with this without Reigns, because I already beat it with Reigns once. So I was actually trying to see if I could do it again. All right, so getting everybody set up here. The big thing we're going to be looking at here is trying to get everything set up, because it takes a while here for this. So I'm planning on Auron getting as much damage in early as I can, because quite honestly, once these guys start jumping, I do not expect to have Auron get more than a turn here with this. So it's a little skittish here at the beginning. I don't think it's actually one of my better runs, but one of the things I like is the off-turn damage with this really helps knock it out once I get a little bit lower. So I went with a Metatilian here because the buffs are a little bit longer and I can apply them twice. Now, the one thing I wish I'd have done with the Metatilian there was probably just go with the Comet and let those guys get another turn in advance. All right, so as you can see, I'm hitting the summon quite early, I'm hitting the burst early, because what I was trying to do was get Garland's burst effect up for the vast majority of this. I was trying to time it out. It's probably a little bit early, but I was like, man, I was already through 20 turns and I hadn't even gotten really through 20% of the HP. So I decided, okay, I'm going to hit it here and really go after him with this. All right, so now there we go. Burst effects up. And I was doing this really for the off turns more than anything, because you can see the off turn damage here is really going to carry me through the remainder of this fight. As you can see, I got 17. Now, granted, I do have a summon, but 17 turns left to go through. A little over 70% of their HP is going to be pretty close to ridiculous here with this. And I will say this wave, probably not the best that I've played, because like I said, I did do this with Reigns and a Pandemonium summon. I just didn't like the fact that debuff that those guys would apply would keep me from being able to use the battery. That was what I was trying to avoid. And I wanted to see if off-turn damage would get me a little bit further up than I anticipated than I would get here. It didn't do a whole lot, but it wasn't too bad considering here we are 2 turns, and I'm down under 65 now with Beatrix's Rose Petals and then Auron's counters. As you can see, now we're down basically to 60. So I said, all right, we're at halfway point. Let's rip these guys up. And one of the things that I liked, although I didn't do a whole lot of look here, is all right, so this is where Auron, I'm coming in here. Okay, let's use everything we got. Try to get as much of a debuff as we can. So just going for big burst damage here with Ifrit. I tried Ramu, and I didn't like the fact that I got the paralyze afterwards with that, because it really took away from the off-turn damage. All right, here we go. The reason I went with Zell's LD here, not just for the damage, but because I don't anticipate Auron getting another turn the rest of this fight. And what Zell's LD effect does is it gives me 10% HP attack up, which, as you can know, on a boss rush, every little squeeze of HP you can get out of them is more than beneficial, because like we said, here we are 14 turns and I'm at about 45% on both of them with this. So that's going to be the big trick for what I'm looking for here with this. So as you can see, I'm just letting the off-turn damage roll. All right, so I was a little bit worried that these guys were going to run through the buff. So that was the big reason why I liked Kurasami, was the extra that he was going to give me the ability to readjust and reset those debuffs. That's what I was hoping for here with that. So because I was looking, it's like, all right, 12 turns. It's like, maybe it'd be a little bit earlier. I should have. That's the hard part with these guys, is that they are real hard to keep debuffs on with the way that that they are jumping with everything that they're doing. So I can't really complain at this point, because I've gone from about 70% on turn 17 to, now granted, don't get me wrong, there was a summon in the middle of it, but here we are on coming up on 11 to go, and we're already under 30%. So can't complain too much about the off-turn damage here that I got. Now, I will admit I'm a little bit worried because we're getting here 10 turns left to go. So I decided to get a little hyper-aggressive because I wasn't sure that I was going to get these guys under. What I was hoping for was to carry over about 5 turns with this over to the next group and try to really whittle those guys down as much as I could with that. So I'm starting to have problems with buffs now. And it's like, oh, I don't want to use the EX because I just, pretty much right now, most EXs are not very good. So, but like I said, the off-turn damage really did a better number than I thought it would here with this. So that's what's going to help me, get in shape and get this thing down just a little bit. So it is pretty amazing. I was at 3 turns earlier, I was at 30, and now I had whittled them down all the way down to to 15% apiece here in these turns. The big trick was I really should have tornadoed with Auron and just kept one of them for the next wave, and that I think would have helped me out a lot more than using Purgatory. I didn't use all the damage that I could. Here's the big part where it gets really tricky once the debuffs are gone, because now you don't have a defense down, and boy, is it tough. And Auron's not getting a turn to do anything with his melee counter and everything else. So this is where it's like, okay, now the slog begins. So it kind of, to get us down as low as I did, I can't really complain. And thankfully, Garland is doing a good bit of damage here. So at least I'm able to get the, whittle these guys down. So like I said, at this point, I wasn't worried as much. I wanted to be out of here at this point at 5, but it just didn't turn out for me here with this. So like I said, right now it was more, let's just blast them and do everything I can. So I'm kind of holding off here with, I was letting the LDs fly here with this, because I just wanted to rip these guys to shreds as much as I could here with this. So I could have held this off for the next guy, but I didn't. I wanted these whales gone, or those fish gone with that, because I was kind of hoping she was going to get one more shot. So it's like, okay, here we go. Which one am I going to use here? I went Thunder Slash because it's a little bit better than the EX. I drop a tornado here just to get bigger damage, and then one LD attack again, just to get as much as we can here, because going into the next turn, this is going to be the big nuke that I'm looking for. All right, so sorry about the abrupt change. Had to pause that for a minute, and as I was going through, I didn't think anybody wanted to see that. So here we go. Ace, Garnet, Vaan. I will admit Garnet is here really just for synergy. The off turn's not bad with this, but she's really for the synergy stats, because you're going to see here, I'm throwing the Metatilians buffs. I got Jack's buffs. I'm trying to get these guys as little as possible, keeping their attack or their defense down as much as I can. Being able to put Kurasami's buffs and debuffs up with this. So here's the caution you have to watch out for. When you got this many debuffs, you won't have room for Garnet to tick the orb. You're not going to have it. So once that orb is up, it is time to nuke with that. So right now this is all about, okay, let's get all the off-turn damage we can with Ace. Let's ramp Vaan up with this, because Vaughn's just going to be bringing massive damage here, which is, like I said, this is a race right here on this orb right now. I will have nothing here to uptick the orb. This is just get as much damage as I can in here as much as I can. All right, so that's the second level. Should get the plus on the next one. And so I'm kind of looking if I was going to drop the and hit the traps quickly, but I said, they're going to come right up with this. And so I went with the LD to get the last turn, get a whole bunch of damage in here. And like I said, so I'm going to let them activate their own trap, and I won't deny here's where it starts getting a little iffy right here, because it's like, okay, we're at 2, and it's like I could have went summon. I decided to burst. The only difference if I'd have summoned, which would have given me some more room, I would have held off and let the traps go. So summoning probably would have been a little bit better there, but I wanted the burst effect for in the summon. That would have given me some more room there. But if I had gone summon first instead of burst, I could have applied a weakness and held off on the traps and just let the traps roll and then burst right after. And that would have let me tick up the orb a little bit more to give myself a little bit more room. Because I won't lie, at this point it's like, oh, I'm getting a little scared here. It was like, I'm at 45%. I know I got a bunch of off-turn stuff coming, and Vaughn's going to blow stuff up pretty good here with White Whorl. So it was when I saw that one, it took him down from like 43 to 37. I was like, okay, I think I'm going to be all right. Got to make sure I'm still blasting the heck out of these guys as much as I can, which is why I went, it was a bad play. I activated the next card, and then I came in with another one to activate that card because I didn't want it to, I wanted to make sure I had enough damage to make sure I could get these guys under 30 before we came out of summon. So it was like, okay, good. Once I got that done, it was just, okay, let's rip these guys as much as we can with that. So I gave myself a free turn because I was like, Garnet's going to run out of thunder skills, and I didn't want to switch to the water stance. I wanted to keep the attack going here as much as I can. So with this, and like I said, right now it's just spam White Whorl plus with Vaan as much as I can. These guys aren't getting very many traps. So I went ahead and activated it again, trying to get the off-turn damage. So I just decided to use it here because I'm not going to get a whole lot on the next guys in terms of off-turn damage. So I said, the heck with it. Just go ahead, activate it. Just try to keep the traps going as much as I can. Maximize my turns here. So thankfully he activated his own trap there. Didn't take one too bad in the face there. He's gone. Have a little White Whorl there for you, buddy. There you go. All right, so here we go. Wave 3. The last few turns I got. So it's actually debating. It's like, ooh, do I put the trap on here or not? And I said, no, I'm not going to put the trap on. It's not going to activate because I'm going to be out of there long before this guy gets any turns. So it's just, this is get these guys down as much as we can so that when I bring in team 3, I can annihilate them here as much as I can. So it's just, AOE as much as I can get here, splashing. So that's actually not bad. So I made up a little bit of ground there, I thought, on that. Okay, here we go. Wave 3, or team 3. Twins, Strago, Porom. You got 3? Meet my 3. So here we go. Setting up. These guys won't get turns. So I am pounding everything I can here with this, dropping mega flares. I'm just dropping nukes unlike it's going out of style here with this. All right, here we go. Kurosami. So there you go. By turns. You guys are going away. Sol Tomas up. Here we go. Grand Delta. Nice part with Grand Delta is that this is going to tick up the orb once Porom gets up and running, and I get all sorts of bonuses from that. So that's not bad. That can't tick up the orb just yet, but it will. Here we go. Defense down. All right, Porom's I'm going to hit it twice to get this guy's cranked up. All right, LD. All right, twins. So I went ahead and burst here. I could have waited. I went ahead and burst because I got the free turn, and I didn't want to use the EX till the very end, since I just find that skill not to be as powerful as the rest of them. So that's why it was use the freebie, use the LD, use the freebie, use the other two skills. Here's the finisher. That's some big damage right there. I can only imagine what that would have been if I'd had greens. Beautiful. All right, here we go. So I decided to hold off on... I don't have a big need just yet for Strago's LD, and plus I wanted to get Porom back up and running, so there we go. Now she's got 3 stacks of everything. We're going to hit those guys with the Mega Flare one more time, because I'm actually waiting for the summon. Here come the Grand Deltas. Big old nuke right here. That's there's your 850 right there for the orb. Can't complain about that. So yeah, I just went ahead and HP attack there to get as much as I could. Now Brothers is ready. Time to drop some more nukes. The level of Max Brave, I don't think I've ever seen it this high. Standing. I mean, I've seen some ridiculous numbers on overflows and whatnot, but I mean, just the amount of Max Brave that starts sitting in the tank here is just crazy. All right, here we go, Porom. Hit him again with the LD. All right, we'll get a launch here. Very nice. So he's gone. All right, so now we only got to deal with the other two. And, yeah, that's a lot of Brave. That is a lot of Brave. Let's hit these guys with a nuke. One more. Yeah, it should be my last one. Yeah, that was it. Let's hit these guys with this nuke. Not quite as good when you only had 3. Oh, poor guys. I missed that. All right, White Wave. Now that's some serious Brave right there. I can't deny that. That is huge. I've never seen it hit and sitting that long. Yeah, so I was actually kind of debating. It's like, what do I need to do there just to make sure both of those guys died? And there we go. That is the end. There we go. So there's Team 1, Team 2, Team 3. So there we go. No greens. Got through. That's the 4th cycle that I was able to get through without greening anybody. Still got everything. There's the full set of team right there. Like I said, wave 1, and I rolled the dice with 2. I could have done some stuff better, but can't complain about that. So, if this was helpful for you, please consider leaving a like and a follow, and if you can, please consider commenting on the, because I appreciate any and all feedback to improve my commentary. So I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.